He's a sheetfish spirit, and I'm a black fish spirit. This all came about because our All Saints old dragon once gave birth to a daughter by the name of Princess All Saints, who was blessed with the loveliest features and the most extraordinary talents. She took in a husband by the name of Nine Heads, who also had vast magic powers. Year before last, he came here with the Dragon King and, exerting great divine strength, sent down a rainstorm of blood to have the treasure pagoda defiled. Then he stole the Sarira Buddhist treasure from the building. Thereafter the princess also went up to the great heaven where she stole the 9-leaved agaric, which the Lady Queen Mother planted before the Hall of Divine Mists. The plant and the Buddhist treasure are both kept now at the bottom of the lagoon, lighting up the place with their golden beams and colored hues night and day. Recently we received the news that there was one Sun Wukong on his way to the Western Heaven to acquire scriptures. We are told not only that he has vast magic powers, but also that he loves to meddle with the faults of others. That's why we've been sent here frequently to patrol the area, so that we'll be prepared when that Sun Wukong arrives. Laughing scornfully at what he heard, Pilgrim said, "How audacious are these cursed beasts! No wonder he sent for the Bull Demon King the other day to attend their banquet. So, he was in league with this bunch of brazen demons who specialize in evil deeds." Hardly had he finished speaking when 8 rules and a few young priests holding 2 lanterns walked up from below. "Master," he said, "why haven't you gone to bed after you finished sweeping the pagoda? Why are you still sitting here and talking?" "Brother," said Pilgrim, "it's a good thing you've come. The treasure on the pagoda was stolen by the All Saints old dragon. He was the one who sent 2 little fiends to patrol the pagoda here and to spy on our movements, but they were caught by me just now." "What are their names?" asked 8 rules. "And what sort of monster spirits are they?" "They just gave us a confession," said Pilgrim. "One of them is called Busy Bubble, and the other is called Bubble Busy. One is a sheet fish spirit, and the other is a black fish spirit." Whipping out his rake, 8 rules wanted to strike at them, saying, "If they are monster spirits who have made their confession, why not beat them to death? What are we waiting for?" Pilgrim said, "You haven't thought about this. If we keep them alive, it'll be easier for us to go speak to the king about this matter, and they can be used as informants too, for catching the thieves and recovering the treasure." Dear idiot. He indeed put away the rake. He and Pilgrim then each picked up a fiend and pulled him down the pagoda. All the fiends could say was, "Spare us." 8 rules said to them, "We were just looking for some sheet fish and black fish like you, so that we could make some soup for those wronged priests." The several young priests, in great delight, held their lanterns high to lead the elder down the pagoda. One of them ran ahead to report to the other monks, crying, "It's great! It's great! We've finally seen the day. The fiends who stole our treasure have been caught by the fathers." Pilgrim gave this order, "Bring us some iron chains, pierce their loot bones, and lock them up here. You people stand guard over them and we'll go to sleep. We'll dispose of them tomorrow." Those monks indeed watched over the fiends with great care, while Tripitaka and his disciples rested. Soon it was dawn, and the elder said, "I'll go into the court with Wukong to have our travel rescript certified." Whereupon he changed into his brocaded cassock and put on his Varokana hat. In full clerical attire, he strode forward, accompanied by Pilgrim, who also tightened his tiger skin kilt and straightened out his silk shirt after he took out the travel rescript. "Why aren't you bringing along the 2 fiendish thieves?" asked 8 rules. "Let us inform the king first," said Pilgrim. "And there will be royal summoners sent here to fetch them." They walked before the gate of the court, and there were endless scenes of scarlet birds and yellow dragons, of divine capitals and celestial arches. Approaching the east flower gate, Tripitaka saluted the grand official of the gate and said, "I beg your honor to make this announcement for us. This humble cleric has been sent by the great Tang in the land of the east to go acquire scriptures in the western heaven. We seek an audience with your ruler in order to have our travel rescript certified." Willing, indeed, to grant this request, the custodian of the Yellow Gate went before the steps to memorialize. There are 2 monks of strange features and attire outside who claim to have been sent by the Tang court in the land of the east of the South Jambudvipa continent to go seek scriptures from Buddha in the west. They wish to have an audience with our king in order to have their travel rescript certified. On hearing this, the king gave the order to have the visitors summoned, and the elder thus led Pilgrim to walk into court. When the civil and military officials caught sight of Pilgrim, they all became frightened, some saying that this was a monkey priest, while others observing that he was a monk with a thunder god beak. All of them were so alarmed that they dared not stare at him for long. While the elder went through elaborate ritual before the steps to salute the throne, Pilgrim stood with hands folded before him and remained unmoved. Then the elder spoke. Your priestly subject has been sent as a scripture pilgrim by the great Tang nation in the land of the east of the South Jambudvipa continent to worship Buddha at the great Thunderclap Monastery in the India of the West. Our journey takes us to your noble region, and we dare not pass through without permission. We have with us a travel rescript, which we beg you to certify before we leave. Greatly pleased by what he heard, the king gave the order for the sage monk of the Tang court to ascend the hall of golden chimes. A cushion of embroidered silk was granted him as his seat. Going up the hall by himself, the elder first presented the rescript before he took the seat. After the king had read carefully the rescript from beginning to end, he was delighted. He said to Tripitaka, though the great Tang emperor was indisposed, he was fortunate to have been able to select a noble priest who was willing to seek scriptures from Buddha without any fear of the lengthy distance. But the priests of our region are good only for stealing, for bringing ruin upon our nation and ruler. When he heard this, Tripitaka folded his hands before his chest and said, in what way do they bring ruin upon your nation and ruler? This kingdom of ours, said the king, is a superior state of the Western territories. In the past, the 4 barbaric tribes frequently came to us to pay tribute, all on account of the Golden Light Monastery within our kingdom. In that monastery was a treasure pagoda of yellow gold, the luster and brilliance of which filled the sky. Recently, however, the larcenous monks of the monastery secretly have stolen the treasure, and for the last 3 years, there was no brilliance at all. The foreign nations during this time also stopped their tributes, and this matter has aroused our deepest hatred. Your Majesty, said Tripitaka with a smile, his hands still folded, to err by a hair's breadth is to miss by 1,000 miles. When this humble priest arrived at your heavenly domain last evening, I caught sight of some 10 priests, all carrying kangs and wearing locks, the moment I entered the city gate. I questioned them on their crime, and they told me that they were innocent victims from the Golden Light Monastery. An even more thorough investigation I made after my arrival at their monastery disclosed that the priests there had nothing to do with this, for when I swept the pagoda at night, I caught the fiendish thieves who stole the treasure. Where are these fiendish thieves? Asked the king, highly pleased. Tripitaka said, they have been locked up by my humble disciple in the Golden Light Monastery. Hurriedly issuing a golden tablet, the king gave this decree. Let the embroidered uniform guard bring back the fiendish thieves from the Golden Light Monastery. We ourselves will then interrogate them. Your Majesty, said Tripitaka, though you may want to send the imperial guard, it is better that my humble disciple accompany him. Where is your noble disciple? Asked the king. Pointing with his finger, Tripitaka said, he's the one standing by the jade steps. When the king saw Pilgrim, he was astounded, saying, the sage monk has such elegant features. How is it that your noble disciple has that sort of appearance? When the great sage son heard this, he spoke up in a loud voice. Your Majesty, do not judge a man by his face, nor measure the sea by a vase. If you only cared for men of good appearance, how could you seize the fiendish thieves? These words of Pilgrim turned the king's astonishment to delight, and he said, what the sage monk says is true indeed. We shall not select talents according to their appearances. All we want is to catch the thieves and return the treasure back to the pagoda." He then gave the order for the court attendant to prepare a canopied carriage, and for the imperial guard to wait on the sage monk in all diligence when he went to fetch the fiendish thieves. The court attendant at once sent for a huge carriage and a yellow umbrella. The embroidered uniform guard also summoned the guardsmen. Pilgrim was placed in the carriage that was borne by 4 people in front and 4 behind, while 4 outriders shouted to clear the way as they headed toward the Golden Light Monastery. This entourage soon disturbed the populace of the whole city, and not one failed to show up to try to see the sage monk and the fiendish thieves.